Once upon a time, a young boy traveled to visit his grandfather during the summer months. He used to spend a lot of time playing with his grandfather. One day, the boy told his grandfather, "When I grow up, I want to become a successful man. Can you tell me some ways to become successful?" The grandfather responded with a yes and took the boy with him to a nearby nursery. From the nursery, his grandfather purchased 2 small plants and brought them back home. Afterward, he planted one plant in a pot and kept it inside the house, and he planted another plant outside the house. Grandpa then asked the boy, "What do you think will grow better in the future?" The boy continued to think about it for a while before responding. He replied that the plant inside the house will grow better in the future because it is protected from a variety of threats, such as intense sunlight, storms, and animals. After that boy had left with his parents, the boy came to visit his grandfather once more. When the boy saw his grandfather, he said, "Grandpa, the last time I asked you about some ways to be successful, but you did not tell me anything, but this time you have to tell me." At that moment, the grandfather smiled and said, "Let's see what happens in the future." Grandfather smiled and said, "Sure, but first let's take a look at plants that we bought a few years back," saying, this grandfather took the boy to a place where he had planted a small plant. In a pot, they saw that the plant had turned into a tree. Then he took the boy to look at the plant which they had planted outside. There they saw that a huge tree stood, its branches spread far and wide, providing shade to passers-by. Now grandfather looked at the boy and asked, "Tell me which plant grew more, that has achieved more success." Grandpa responded with the one that we had planted outside. But the boy, how is this possible? That plant must have faced so many dangers. Still, it grew so big. Grandfather smiled and said, "Yes, plants outside had to face many things, but dealing with problems had its benefits too. Plants outside had the freedom to spread their roots as much as they wanted. Problems like storms made its roots stronger today. It is so strong that a small storm cannot cause any harm to it. Son, what I am about to tell you, always remember it. Then you will be successful in whatever you do in life. If you always make comfortable choices, then you will not be able to grow as you can if you are ready to face this world, despite all the dangers. Then no goal is impossible for you to achieve. Never think of problems as hurdles, but think of them as steps toward success." Taking a deep breath and staring at the tree, the young boy realized that the obstacles that we consider to be our enemies in life are actually the very same obstacles that make us stronger and more successful in life. In a similar vein, our life is like a great adventure that is full of twists and turns that may appear to be obstacles blocking our path. But guess what these obstacles are like? Imagine that you are playing a game, and the most enjoyable aspect of the experience is figuring out how to overcome obstacles. There are puzzles waiting to be solved. In the same way that life works, each obstacle you encounter is an opportunity to learn, grow, and become even stronger. Therefore, do not let these roadblocks discourage you. Instead, embrace them, tackle them, and watch yourself level up in the game of life. You have the skills, determination, and spirit to conquer anything that comes your way. I hope that you take something useful away from this story and try to implement it in your life. Always keep rising.